Hi viewers, welcome back to our channel Make Math Easy. So in today's class we are going to discuss about some more word problems from the pair of linear equations. But as I already discussed in the before class that if they didn't specify any method whatever for solving the pair of linear equations, whatever method you want you can use, either substitution, elimination, cross multiplication, whatever it may be. So don't think that always we will be getting equations in a very direct way. You have to, sometimes you may get in the form of something like 1 by x 1 by y, as we discussed in the last class word problem. So like that you just have to, according to the question, you have to take the procedure, right? So let us start now with some more word problems. Yeah, see this question. The income of x and y, are in the ratio 8:7, and their expenditures are in the ratio 19:16. If each saves 1250 rupees, find their income. So let us see first how to understand the question. They had given incomes ratio, they had given, right? Incomes is the one, and another is expenditure, and another is saving. So first we should know how these three are related, and then accordingly we have to take the ratio. So remember, income minus expenditure is equal to savings. You can remember like IES, Indian Engineering Services, like that you can remember. Income minus expenditure is equal to savings. That is the basic question, right? Basic formula. So whatever you are earning, from that if you spend something, left out will be the savings. Simple as that. So incomes are in the ratio 8:7. So 8x is the income for the first person, and expenditure for the first person will become 19y is equal to, he saves 1250. Okay, because we will generally write incomes ratio means you will write it like a 8x by 9y 7y, and expenditure ratio you will write it like a 19x by 16y like this, right? So simple as that. 8x by 7x and 19y by 16y like this. Then only xx will get cancelled, you will get that ratio. So 8x minus 19y is equal to 1250, and the second case will become 7x minus 16y is equal to, again this is also 1250. So what they are expecting us to find out here, to find the values of savings, they gave 1250 and they are asking us for the income, that is 8x and 7x values they are asking. So first equation I will multiply with 7, second equation I will multiply with 8, so that I can get 56x. So 7 into 19, 7 9 is 63, 133y, 7 plus 6 is 13, is equal to 7 into 1250, 7 5 is 35, 7 2 is 14, 17, 8750 we are having. Now again in the second equation, if I multiply with 8 here, I will be getting 56x minus 6 8s are 108y is equal to 0, 0, 4, 16, 20, and then you are getting 10,000. So do the subtraction here, and then this is plus and then this is minus. So these two will get cancelled, and this is nothing but minus 25y is equal to 10,000 minus 8750 you are having. So that means somewhere like 1250 you are getting. So y is equal to, minus you will get, y is equal to 50 you are getting. Okay, so 8750, 1250, 10,000. So y equal to 50, if you substitute here, I will be getting 8x minus 19 into 50 is equal to 1250 I will get. See, I am not going to simplify this. Why? Because if I send this to the other side, 19 into 50 plus 1250 I can take 50 as a common. Then I will be getting 19 plus 15. 50 into 5 will give you 125. So 50 into 5 will become 1250. So I will write it as a 5. 8x is equal to, I am getting 50 into 24. On further simplification, 50 into 24 by 8, that will give you 150. So x is 150 and y is 50. Now see what they are asking. They are asking for the incomes. So the first person income will become 8 into 150, that is 04120, and the other person is 7 into 150, so this is 1050. So usually students will get confused here to relate income, expenditure and savings. So the only one important point you have to remember is income minus expenditure will give you savings. That is the basic logic. So you can just remember like IES, Indian Engineering Services. It will follow that order. Income minus expenditure is nothing but savings. So like this you can just try to realize in this simple way so that it is somehow easy for you. Now let us see another question. See this. A man travels 600 km partly by train and partly by car. So totally he is having 600 km. 600 km, what they are saying, he is traveling partly by car, partly by train. So let us say this is some part he is traveling by car and some part he is traveling by train. So if he covers 400 km by train, so if he covers 400 by train means remaining 200 he has to cover by car only. That is basic logic. It takes for him 6 hours 30 minutes. So if he go in this way, he is taking 6 hours 30 minutes time. Now let us see the second case. But if he travels 200 km by train, obviously this is 400 by car, he takes half an hour longer. Already 6 hours 30 minutes, half an hour longer means it will become 7 hours. This is the given question to us. So now see what they are asking. Find the speed of train and that of car. This 200, 400, 400, 200 is representing the distance. This is given in time. So that is giving you hint that we have to make use of speed is equal to distance by time relation. Okay. So time they had given here. So I will rewrite this as T is equal to d by s. So we don't know speed of car and train. So I am assuming speed of car as an x km per hour and speed of train, let it be y km per hour. You can take any variable as anything, that's up to you. So let us write here distance. Initially we will take discuss 200 divided by speed of car is x plus 400 by y is equal to 6 hours 30 minutes. If you write it as 6 1 by 2 hours, that is nothing but 13 by 2 hours. Second case, 400 by x 200 by y is equal to 7. So the important point that I want to highlight here is whenever you are having this type of different cases in the same question, please try to write it as a tabular column so that you will get a clarity how to start this question. Once if you write it in the paragraph under, if it is in the paragraph, no, there is a scope for getting confused under. Instead of that, if you write it in a like this tabular column, if you make something like this, so that you will get a clarity which number is applicable for which ones. That will make your work simple. Now have you realized here we are getting x and y in terms of denominators. X and y in terms of denominator means you have to go for reducible form. So whatever is repeating for more number of times has to be considered as some other variables. So the first equation will become 200a 400b 13 by 2. Second equation will become 400a 200b equal to 7. Right? Again, we can use whatever method we want. I will just go for multiplying first equation with 2 so that I will make it as a 400a. If I multiply with 2 means 400a, 800b, 13. This is 400a, 200b, and it is 7. Because 2 into 13 by 2 is 13. Right? So please be careful in the calculations. If I do the subtraction, symbols will change. This is 600b is equal to 6. I will be getting b is equal to 1 by 100. b 1 by 100 means y will be 100. 100 units is kilometer per hour. So y is equal to 100 kilometer per hour. Units are very important. Now if I substitute y here or b as a 1 by 100 here or here, anywhere wherever you want you can substitute. I will just substitute here b with 1 by 100. If I substitute that, I will be getting 400a plus b as a 1 by 100. So 2 is equal to 7. So I will be getting a is equal to 5 by 400. That means 1 by 80. So my value of x is 80 kilometer per hour. Right? You can cross check your answer by just checking. You see, x is nothing but speed of the car and y is nothing but the speed of train. So obviously speed of car is less compared to the speed of train, right? So like that you can even compare and conclude your result as well. And also you can just cross check whether the values are getting satisfied or not. Then it will be, you can just confirm for your answer. You can just substitute by x and y values and let us check you can get 13 by 2 or not. X if I substitute with 80, 200 by 80 I will be getting. 200 by 80 means 20 by 8 and then plus y is 100, so that is 4. If you do the LCM here or if you simplify further, 20 by 8 means 4 table you can cancel out. 5 by 2. 5 by 2 plus 4. That will give you 13 by 2. Like that you can cross check your answer whether what we got is correct or not. Only the whole logic will be in understanding the question and framing the equations. Once if you frame the equations, there won't be anything actually that you can take care of. Just simple, you should avoid the calculation mistakes. Right? Now see this question. Ratio between girls and boys of a class 40 students is 2:3. See the question. Ratio of girls and boys of class 40 students is 2:3. So that means let us understand this part and later we will go to the remaining part of question. So the girls is to boys is 2:3. That means 2 by 5 into 40 is girls, 2 by 5 into 40 is boys. So hope you are clear with this. So that means it is giving us information that girls is equal to 16 and boys is equal to, sorry, this is 3 by 5. 3 by 5 because boys are 3. So 8 3s are 24. Totally you can check 16 plus 24 is 40 again. See the continuation question. 5 new students joined the class. How many of them must be boys so that ratio of boys and girls and boys becomes 4:5. Now what they are saying, 5 students joined again. 5 students joined new. So we don't know in this how many boys are there, how many girls are there, we don't know. So let us say let y number of girls are there. Y number of girls are new. So obviously 5 minus 5 will be number of boys, correct? Because total number of students are 5 only. So when I say 5 as a number of girls new means 5 minus y will become number of boys. Okay? See the continuation. How many of them must be boys so that ratio of girls and boys becomes 4:5. So initially girls is 16 and now total number of girls have become 16 plus y by boys are 24 and this is 5 minus 5. Because initially 16 and 24 are the ratio, and now 16 along with the old 16 students you have y number of new girls, that's why 16 plus y, and along with 24 old boys 5 minus y are new amount of boys, and this ratio girls to boys is 4:5. Here in writing these ratios and all, please be careful whether they are saying girls is to boys or boys is to girls, that is important. So now do the cross multiplication. 5 into 16 plus y is equal to 4 into 29 minus y. So this is 80. 5y is equal to 4 into 29, that is 6. 3 will be the balance, 116 minus 4y. Now bring everything to one side. 5y plus 4y is 9y. 116 minus 80. So you are getting now 9y is equal to 36 and y is equal to 4. So what it represents? 4 number of new girls are there. Obviously only one boy is there. So therefore 4 new girls joined and 1 new boy. So now see the question. How many of them must be boys they are asking. They are not asking you what is the total number of new boys. I mean what is the total number of strength, new strength. They are not asking that. They are asking how many of them must be boys. So that means in this 5 minus y is representing number of boys. So only 1 new boy had joined in that particular class. So you just have to see the question correctly and understand it properly, and most importantly has to write according to the given conditions in the question. That is very important. Okay, right. So hope you like this video. In the next class we will see some more interesting questions from the pair of linear equations, and then we will go into arithmetic progressions. Okay, right. Thank you for watching.